Google Maps is an amazing service. With its help, we can go anywhere in the world, visit any street of any megalopolis, and see things that cannot be seen by a human eye. At the same time, on Google Maps, you can find something paranormal, spooky, and strange. From mysterious islands and mysteries in the desert to the Kraken and an all-seeing eye. This is Infinity, and in this episode, I'll show you the places you better never search on Google Maps.
We gotta smash your laptop with a hammer.
Round Island. This mysterious object is located on the territory of Argentina. To be more precise, it's located in the swampy delta of the Paraná River, which flows near Buenos Aires. Yeah, as you understand, the point here is not that the island is impossible to find. The mystique lies in the shape of the island. It's absolutely round, and also it's located in the swamp right in the middle of the wormwood. The island floats in it and at the same time rotates. The diameter of the inner circle is 390 feet. Local residents know about the mysterious island, but don't risk approaching it. They say that a god lives there, but the locals have no idea when the dwelling appeared. By the way, hitting the archives of Google Maps, people managed to find that at the beginning of the 21st century, this island was already in place. Someone builds the theory that this is a flying saucer hidden from the public eye, or the entrance to an underground laboratory of aliens. And what exactly do you think about this find? The Gobi Desert is the third largest subtropical desert in the world, which stretches across 2 countries in Asia, partly in the south of Mongolia and partly in the north of China. We'll be interested in its second part because that's where Google Map users somehow found strange objects of unusual shapes. If you look at them from above, one of them is a ball of intertwined white stripes, and another one is a giant circle outlined with dotted lines, in the center of which are either planes or something very much like them. In addition to this, the satellites recorded something else. These are squares of rust color. There are a lot of versions of the origin of these objects. Some people are convinced that this is a product of China's military preparations. Some say that they have deliberately decided to build a base far from populated areas. But another part of the users are sure that these objects have nothing to do with the country where they're located. It's difficult to determine from satellite images what these buildings are made of, and each of them fits into the landscape of the desert. Because of this, it seems that the secret objects have been on this site for at least several centuries. And who, in that case, erected them? Should we blame the aliens again? Or this time the object was built by one of the advanced civilizations that existed before us? Real Pathfinder. These are 2 words to describe the protagonist of the following story. A man named Jan found a Boeing on the maps and realized that the Boeing that mysteriously disappeared in 2014 with 239 passengers on board was likely in front of him. The outline of the vehicle perfectly matched the missing model. And the area fit Jan's version too. Jan immediately reported the discovery to the necessary local services, but their employees do not like to believe virtual pathfinders. In the end, no expedition was sent to search for the plane. People referred to the fact that in a few years the plane should have been covered with vegetation, and on the photo the fuselage is clearly visible. Moreover, if the plane had crashed, it would have broken into pieces and not been lying in one piece in the middle of the jungle. Jan had his own opinion on this, and at one point he was going to personally conduct an expedition, but its fate remained unknown. Some are looking for adventures related to islands or some kind of flying saucers, but what's really cool and dynamic is the search for the Kraken. Yes, that mystical monster that lives underwater. A Google Maps team of ocean explorers has discovered something strongly resembling the monster based on the words of eyewitnesses. According to enthusiasts, the sea monster they've discovered lives off the coast of Antarctica. Based on the scale of the map, you can assume that the length of the creature exceeds 98 feet. However, the user who found the Kraken believes that, in fact, it could be much longer. At the same time, there are those who do not believe in the mystical creature. But they have an even more exotic version, according to which it's not the Kraken, but a flying saucer. Do you think if you look closely at this picture, does it really look like an underwater UFO surfacing from the depths of the ocean? Or is it the Kraken after all? I think each of you has roughly the same idea of islands and how they should look on maps. However, the next so-called hollow island blurs all the lines, literally and figuratively. This object was found by a Google Maps user. Of course, the find surprised the guy because the island had a very strange triangular shape, and in addition, it looked like a black hole. Unfortunately, the exact coordinates of this find were never made public, but people revealed this picture with a high degree of probability. Most likely, we have some kind of secret island in front of us, which was censored by the maps themselves. As far as we all know, the service often blurs various important objects like military bases, jails, and other important and secret places. Who knows? Maybe this island is a super-secret prison where the most dangerous prisoners from all over the world are put in. Or maybe it's some kind of secret base where they develop things that just blows one's mind. Either way, we can't know for sure about this facility, so put forward your personal guesses in the comments. Sandy Island. This is Sandy Island, which was discovered by James Cook back in 1774. Then the British navigator first reported its coordinates and nicknamed it Sandy Island. Time passed, and people from different parts of the planet continued to explore the world ocean. And curiously, new information began to leak out to the public. Another batch of sailors claimed to have seen Sandy Island in a completely different place. And a new batch of sailors said they saw it in a third location altogether. What's the big deal? Somebody got their coordinates wrong. Nobody's perfect. A little to the left, a little to the right, it makes no difference, one would think. Only if you consider the events of our time, the story takes an unexpected turn. At the beginning of the 21st century, one of the groups of radio amateurs decided to go to this very island. The essence of their expedition was simple. These guys carried a bunch of equipment, and once there, they had to try to establish communication with other radio amateurs. However, the group arrived and found no island at the coordinates indicated on the maps. The group searched the entire area, sailing many miles north, south, west, east, but no result. People immediately applied to the appropriate services to try to figure out what was wrong, but given the time it took to process the applications, it wasn't until 12 years later that they took up the case. A scientific ship finally sailed to the area where the island was and clarified its coordinates. And guess what? No island was found. At the spot where the island was to be, there was only the ocean, almost a mile deep. The island disappeared without a trace. Since then, it gradually began to be crossed off the map. No one's even given an exact answer to the question, where'd the island go? Giant lips. By lips, I mean the hills located at the western end of the Darfur Plateau in Sudan. As you understand, they were created in nature in such a way that they clearly resemble lips from satellites. The length of this natural wonder is more than 1.5 miles. It's a pity that you can't go there. The territory is closed, and frankly speaking, visiting this place from a satellite is the best and most informative. From the ground, this territory will not be anything unusual. Have you ever wondered how satellite images are calibrated? How do people know how clear it is and stuff? Turns out that the answer to this question is a real official theory. According to it, somewhere in the United States, there is an all-seeing eye that can be seen from space. The object was made artificially to calibrate the images. But as you understand, the official version is not always reliable. Personally, to me, the calibration of the image, when the satellite is already launched into the sky, seems like a dubious idea. Maybe we're facing a symbol of an advanced civilization or aliens, which the authorities don't want to tell to ordinary people. Write what you think in the comments. Well, while you're writing, I suggest we change the subject from mystical to something more fun. There are not very many such finds, but I will tell you about a couple now.
We gotta smash your laptop with a hammer.
What monster is known to everyone in the world as the big lizard on 2 legs that crushes cities? That's right, Godzilla. But in general, the theme of mutated monsters is quite popular and has been seen in real life. But in this episode, there's something even cooler. Please welcome the anomalous crab, or as it's called locally in the UK, Crabzilla. It was first discovered on Google Maps, and the second encounter was near a pier where kids were fishing. They'll have a story to tell in the future. Someone thinks that such a find is unrealistic, at least due to the fact that the climate in the UK is simply unsuitable for this. Accordingly, the photo is attributed to fakes. But to me, this shot with suspecting children and Crabzilla lurking under the pier looks very epic and plausible. What do you think? But I suggest we put mysticism aside and just check out the place in Italy where the giant rabbit is. Curiously enough, it's not a secret and has been there for more than 15 years. Moreover, in such a long time, the rabbit has become loved by locals and became the main attraction of the hill in Piedmont. The giant stuffed toy lies at a height of nearly a mile with outstretched paws. This pose seems to suggest that the rabbit accidentally fell out of an airplane and found shelter here. And believe me, there's nothing awful about this rabbit. It makes everyone who gets to it and lies on it smile. That's all, guys. What's the most unusual thing you found on Google Maps? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.